Hello, my name is Walt Barrron. I'm a senior account planner here at McKinney advertising agency in Durham, North Carolina. I've been here for just more than 4 years. Just had my 4-year anniversary a few days ago. And creativity is it's kind of one of those words that you hear a lot, and you maybe have different ideas of what it is, or how exactly do you define it? How do you know it when you see it? And I actually think that creativity, first of all, some people are just born more creative than others. They have more of an inclination to be creative than others do. And maybe that's part of being more right brain than left brain or something like that. But I do believe that everybody can and is forced to be creative at certain times. I actually think that creativity is best expressed, or it comes out the most when you're forced to be creative. So when you face a situation where you really don't have any other options, you have no choice but to find a new solution to what you've been doing. So in our current economy, I think, for example, you are seeing a lot of companies be really creative with what they do. A lot of companies are being desperate and just saying, like, we're just cutting prices. Others are changing the business model. They're changing how they operate because sales are lagging, and the business requires that they do something different, or else they will fail. I think that Hyundai, for example, is an example of a business that's doing that right now. They see that people are having trouble buying cars, and so what do? They say, all right, we will sell you a car, and if your revenue stream stops, we'll buy it back from you. That's a creative solution that probably would not have come about 5 or 10 years ago, when the economy was a whole lot better than it is now. I will say that I think that you can see creativity. Certainly, you can see it with amazing artists, musicians, those sorts of fields, because that's kind of what they're about. Is their job is to create things. Athletes as well. You see athletes be really creative, but I actually think the most creative people in the world are people who are doing it every day with seemingly menial tasks, and perhaps no other people in the world than mothers, for example, or fathers. Stay-at-home parents, single parents. Can you imagine being responsible not only for your health and well-being and your life, but also for the entire health and well-being and lives of one person, one other person, 2, 3, 4 people? You've got to be amazingly creative. You cannot just do the same things that you do for yourself. You've got to think of new ways to tackle those problems. And something I probably should have said at the very beginning is I think that the best creativity starts by clearly defining the problem that exists that you're trying to solve, or the goal that you have in mind. And I know that a lot of people will say, well, doesn't that put people in a box? Doesn't that kind of restrict how they think? But actually, I feel like you get a lot of creative freedom when you say, this is the goal, this is the problem that we're trying to overcome, and then you give them a lot of freedom in terms of how they go about achieving that end, how they go about solving the problem and achieving that goal. It's an amazing thing that happens, I believe, when you can clearly define that problem and let people then think of all the ways, all of the new ways, look at the conventions that are out there and find out, what new way can I tackle this?